Merry Christmas, post-Christmas, everybody. Hello! Welcome to the new live stream for the final one of the year. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see, let's get the cameras going. Hi everybody, welcome to the live stream. My name is John Lemcool. We're playing with our favorite software program, Unify, of course. Unify 2. Now this library has something kind of special I just added that is free to everybody. I think I put it in the video description. I'm not sure. Let me look real quick. Get this to be a little bit wider. Da, da, da. Oh, it's nice to see all the happy names showing up. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Last one of the year, right? I can't tell. I can't look at the video description right now. So... darn technology. But anyway, welcome. My name's John Lemcool. We do this every Saturday at this time. We get together and we talk about new plugins. We talk about our libraries. We talk about Unify 2. We go over cool things you can do with Unify 2, give you information, help teach what's going on, all that kind of good stuff. And this is the latest library. This is Ice Dreams, and it's a library that's kind of holiday themed, but it's far deeper than that, of course, and it's now at 170 patches. I added something this week. I added this dude. This is my piece shaker. A really, really cool, unique thing I found this year that I was like, oh, I'm going to add that to a library as like a bonus or something like that. And this is the right library to do it to because it had other shakers and jingle bells and stuff like that. So if you go up here to the percussion, there's now the piece shaker menu, which it has both. If we look at the keyboard really quick, up, all the way up to here, from here to here are samples of hits. And I've carefully worked on these to make sure that they were timing wise. It's really hard when you're sampling like this. There's this up. There's no matter what you do, you have to have it come up before you come down for that hit. And so I have the ups separated above here. I have two shakes. And then I have all these up hits so you can do all sorts of variations. And then there's rolls. Where are they? There's both ones like this that are straight center, right in the middle of the field. There's also some panning ones. And so these are available. The textures are these really cool. I played it, tried to keep a certain energy level, and then I looped it. So you have this really cool texture that you can do all sorts of fun things with. We'll make a bonus patch maybe after we get done with the live stream. In the last bit, we'll do a bonus patch. And then in the BPM perk, there are 9 patches that are different patterns. And this is all free. If you own Ice Dreams, you can go to the website and download the update, and it has all 170 patches. I'm also making the piece shaker available to everybody, whether you own Unify or, well, you have to own Unify too, but whether you own Ice Dreams or not, here is the link. I'll put it into our video chat. No sound from Unify? Oh, let me double check. Only your voice. Okay, let me double check. It's there. Hopefully it's there. It's not the loudest sound. It's a soft shaker, you know. So, do you hear that? Because I hear it, and I see the levels going up on OBS. Okay, so if you can't hear it, maybe reload the page. Maybe something with the audio glitched out. I don't know, but there's also drum grooves tied to every one of the patterns. It was just quiet because it's just a shaker. Yeah, so if you have bad hearing from too many concerts, maybe you won't hear it. I don't know, but it's there. So each one of these has a groove, which you can turn off. And you just have these shakers. Now these shakers, again, it's kind of soft. Here is the link on Dropbox for the .guru file for these shaker patterns, the shaker samples. You can have the texture patches, these things here that that's all from one sample right here. C4 is the original sample to these guys. And then the panning ones from left to right and right left to right. Testing my hearing. I guess I am testing somebody's hearing aids, yes. Yeah, if you need hearing aids, then I can't guarantee you'll hear stuff accurately anyhow, right? So this is something that is added to the library. When you download the full library, it comes with ice streams and the P shaker. But you can get the P shaker and install it in Unify too. It has the artwork. It has the MIDI files, all the patterns. So you can have that as well. It's actually still named Ice Dreams. It gives you the same name, so it seems like you have Ice Dreams, but you don't. I just did it that way to make it easy so that you can go buy the full version of the library. Hopefully. That would be very nice. Thank you. And then it would replace the library with this so you don't have doubles of piece shakers, because I don't want to have you have two piece shakers on your computer. So again, it's the name Ice Dreams for the library. If you don't own the full library, it only gives you the piece shaker for free. If you buy the full library, then you get all other 162 patches or 152, because there's, I think, 18 or 19. Let's see if I say piece shaker. Piece shaker, there's 20, and that includes 2 bonus patches for Unify 2, which have the this. Which is using, it's doing this with the one of the ice. The piece shaker is doing this. Has a pitch LFO on it. It's got some other stuff going on, as well as a pulsing LFO at the same time. Since we have 3 LFOs to play with, it's like, why not? Get them doing all sorts of things. And then also Peace on Earth, which should take a second to load. These are bonus patches that use other samples from the library. Have cool grooves. Right? So there's some bonus patches for you all. Just to show appreciation to those of you that bought the library, wanted to give a little something extra and make a free end of the year present for everybody that hasn't bought the library yet, maybe giving you a little extra. Hey, there's a lot of cool stuff in this library, especially when we get to okay, now why are you not playing? Let me double check my MIDI connection path. Aha, you're not connected. So here, 1 second, let me get this connected real quick. Where do you go? Oh, that's right, you have a weird MIDI connection. I'm testing out a sequential product that I might bring down to the NAMM show, and it needs a USB-C connector, so it can't connect. So Let's see. Do I have? Yes, I do. Okay. 1 second. I gotta do a little swap-a-rooney. I'm gonna get the Hydrosynth plugged back in. So disconnect this. Disconnect that. We don't need the audio jacks. It's a really cool piece. This is the Form by Dave Smith Instruments. I might be bringing this down to the NAMM show to play. It also does polyphonic aftertouch, as well as has a nice keyboard. So, and it has a pretty kick butt synth engine in it too, by the way. So it sounds quite good. I'm quite impressed with it. As far as the synthesizer goes, it's kind of a 4-voice Prophet 5 in a little tiny setup like that. There we go. Oh! Let's see if I call up a patch again. Are you going to do that again? Is there something? No. It has a very different keybed and keyboard feel to it compared to the Hydrosynth. The Hydrosynth has these short, stubby little tiny keys. These are a little bit longer, but miniature in size. So interesting. I'm getting it showing that I have lots of notes being played. Huh. It shouldn't be doing that. There. Okay. Just a sustain thing. But anyway, with Aftertouch, a lot of these patches come to life. So it's not just for Christmas holidays. Here's Complex Winds, which is also really cool. Lots of expressivity, and the Aftertouch is lovely to have on all of these patches. I'm still warming up to the idea of actually programming Aftertouch because it's not been a friend of mine for so long. But it's cool to have this added layer of expressivity that you can control in nice ways. To go. Snowing. Hello, Ottawa. Yeah, it's icy up there. Oh yeah, the Hydrosynth is really cool. So if you just got a Hydrosynth for your Christmas present, congratulations. Enjoy. It's a nice instrument for sure. Yeah. Is there a way to set the default screen options? I would like the keyboard and macro knobs to be showing. I don't think we have that in the preferences yet. That might be a nice thing to add. We'll look at adding that in an update. So you can I want to have the keyboard on, and because I'd like to have this set up on and remembered all the time too. So that would be a good idea. So yeah, I'll make a request to Paul for us to look at that because that would be nice for sure. So in this live stream, on top of talking about the piece shaker, I don't think we can do 90 minutes on the piece shaker. Maybe we'll make a bonus patch showing you what you can do with these really cool textures because they are super cool to play with. I mentioned that. I'll do this at the end of the live stream. We'll do this in the last 20 minutes. I'll save 20 minutes at the end. And we'll make a patch for you to download and put into iStreams. Okay? But the other thing we want to cover, because it is the last live stream of the year, is to go through the libraries that were released this year and kind of give shout outs to them. We have a big sale going on at the website. I should announce that. So let's do that really quick. Cool music playing, cool music. Let's see if we go Plugin Guru. If you go to pluginguru.com, number one, Unify 2.01 is available to download. So please update. We have the new library iStreams, and we have a multi-buy sale going on. And the way the multi-buy sale works is that you buy one library, it's 40% off. If you add 2 libraries to your cart, it's 48% off. I think I said it right. And then 3 libraries is 55%. I typically don't go beyond 50% off on the libraries, but for the last sale of the year, I decided to do that to give you guys a chance to save a little extra. If you're willing to buy 3 libraries, I'm willing to save you some more money. So you can buy 3 libraries and get 55% savings, which is a lot of money. When you get Groove Summit, MegaMagic Keys, and these other big libraries, it ends up being hundreds of dollars you'll be saving. So Wavetable Land, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, the form sounds really great, and it does have really great presets that show its range for sure. Right on, Tim. In fact, Tim gets the award for the first library of 2025. He released a library for Unify 2, well, it's Unify 1 at the time, called Modularity. So we can go down here to SabreSounds Modularity. This is a really fun library and it has really cool artwork in the back for all the different sounds and the things that he sampled. So it has an analog modular experimental. Not everything has an artwork image. So he's playing DX, OBXD, and Groove Sampler playing things. Here's the sequencer. Where's the sequencer? Why isn't the sequencer playing? Oh. Yeah, it should be playing. What's our key range set up here so that MIDI. And it's triggering. Oh. Tim, it's not playing the sequencer. Oh, art mode. It's not the whoops, we have a knob not working. Well, it should be working, but it's not. We'll look at why it's going on. Neuron was sampled. Really good stuff in this library. 328 patches, so it has a lot of stuff for everybody. And you only need to Unify to work it. This is a library that works for Unify 1 or Unify 2 for those of you that have not upgraded yet. This works for both. So there's all these kind of fun, different, tons of BPM stuff in this library. Right? BPM pads. Let's see, let me find the library artwork here. So if we go over here. This was SabreSounds Modularity, so we've got to go down the list. Here's all of our libraries. I think we're up to like 130 libraries or something crazy like that. Let's go to SabreSounds, which is in the S's. RS, SabreSounds, Modularity, right here. Starts at $31.20 if you buy it by itself. And if you add 2 more libraries, you get to even bigger savings for this library. It's the 10th library from Tim. It's a really cool library. Came out very nice. Lots of cool, interesting percussion stuff, as well as the synthy thing. Hedgehog's Rule. I can see video game music from that. So even BPM splits, BPM synths, all sorts of things. Even drums, fun stuff. So that library came out in January. Seems like such a long time ago. It's been excuse me, I'm having some chaotic moments. That will happen with the modular for sure. Really cool hits. Some really nice reviews for this. Lots of people liked it. Gave all sorts of 5-star reviews, which was awesome. So, good job, Tim. Came out nice. After that, we actually brought out Hyperion and the libraries for Hyperion with Wavesequencer, because Paul joined. I met him in October, the year ahead prior, when we started working on our agreement. And in January, he started full-time working on Unify 2 and turning it into what we brought out in the end of October for bringing out Unify 2. And he said, if you want, you can sell the libraries that I have. So we have Hyperion, which is a really cool modular synthesizer that he literally built everything in this himself. It's not, and it sounds incredibly cool. I mean, what's not to like about that? All sorts of patches that go into all sorts of cool places. Bagpipes if you need them, Billie Jean. So we could close this down and we could take a look at each of the, let's see if we have this go away so that we see. I'm still not very good with the interface to this plugin. Click here, there we go. There's for the bass sound. Sure why it has so much reverb. Is that in my patch? Because I might have loaded this up into something that has effects on it. Let me see here. Yeah. There we go. I was like, it doesn't sound like that out of the box, you know, so. So it has the ability to use multiple patches, doing multiple patch sets for sounds. So he's got it doing voices and strings and a separate bass, having them then work into a splits configuration with how he has everything set up. Right? Go back here, get to the patches. But this instrument has just great synth. The effects are great. We did Unify. I couldn't find the Hyperion libraries unified. They are available on the website. I just don't have them on my computer right now. But he did 3 libraries also, and these are on sale right now, I believe. So if we go down here to, let's see, this is, what was the first library? Cinematic Landscapes. I can't remember how I organized them on the website. If it was, yeah, here they are. So they're under Wavesequencers. So there's Classic Synth Tone, Cinematic Landscapes, and Pick and Mix are the 3 libraries that we brought out. And they are available at a really great price, as you can see. And again, if you buy all 3 at once, that price for each library will go down even more. And they provide tons of really cool patches for both Hyperion and for Theia. And if you buy Hyperion, you get the Theia player, which is the kind of like the simplified player interface version, Theia, of Hyperion is included with the purchase of Hyperion. I currently don't have his plugins included in the Christmas sale. I don't think I got the clearance to do that, so I didn't do it. But This gives you the cool, doesn't this play page kind of look similar in some ways to this? Because some of this information and the stuff that he developed for his plugins, he brought into Unify 2, which is really awesome because I really like that whole idea of a play page and stuff. So, cool patches there. And then if you add the libraries, here's cinematic pads, which just has all sorts of... Great sounding. I mean, have any of those libraries been decommissioned? No. Kid Anthem's libraries have been decommissioned. I was thinking of putting his background. I think he would like it if we'll see. Kid Anthem's a unique case. He kind of didn't want me to sell his libraries. He worked with Rocky Mountain Sound. So you can find his libraries. Well, you could. I don't know if they're still there or not. They might not be available anywhere right now. Just really, really, really cool engine. Really cool synth. I mean, it has a very incredibly deep sound to it. And we're fortunate that we have Paul on the team for Unify 2. Right? So those three libraries, Hyperion and Theia, they came February, March. The next library after this that we brought out was Groove Summit. This was kind of a drumming kind of tour de force. I looked at what my friend Eric has done with Stylus RMX, and I kind of wanted to do something like that where I tried to put grooves from all sorts of different places in one place to play with. And so I came up with the idea of summits. So you have 5 different summits. Camp 1 are these drums loops that I actually licensed these from Bernie and from Heinrich from the European Sound Collective, the ESC. And this is only half of the library of samples I licensed. I'm doing Groove Summit Volume 2 in 2026. So the other half of all these grooves will be put into that library. And I have some really cool things to add to that. I'll talk about that more when it's actually time to talk about it. But these are kind of like alternative groove kind of things. Camp 2 was break beats. So you have all sorts of really cool hip-hoppy kind of... And of course, with Unify and Unify 2, all you have to do is click this button so you're adding layer 1. Now I've added one of those alternative Camp 1 grooves with Groove 2 from Summit 2. They go like 2 gloves together to do all sorts of really cool things like that. Camp 3 is acoustic drums. I bought a drum set last year and I sampled the daylights out of it. And so I have, let's see, let's go just to normal loading over here. There's an ambient kit, which was included in the Electric Dreams library I did for guitar and so forth. And there's a whole bunch of other kits. They're numbered by the number here. Camp 2 or Kit 2, Kit 3. Was the snares off kit. More acoustic beats for us old rockers. Okay, you got it. Then there's drum kit number 4, which was kind of like the dead kind of drum kit, so I had a really cool vibe to it. Now the thing to remember with this is all you have to do is turn off MIDI box and now it becomes a drum kit you can play on the keyboard. So and And it's got crash, rides, 2 rides. Here, let me, so you can see the keys, right? Splash, and a China. So he's got 4 cymbals, an incredible set of hi-hats. And because I'm able to have separate layers, I could have the hi-hat layer, open this up, and I could make it monophonic re-triggering, so that way you can get the hi-hats to cancel. The kick is up here on the first layer. Here's your snare. If you have multiple audio outputs, you could open this up and send everything to its own. Now, I don't have it turned on, so I go over here to audio, change, go to my outputs, add more outputs. And now when I go back to the interface of Unify 2, I now have outputs this time, so I could take this snare and I could say I want this to go to a different set of outputs. And now it's being sent to a different set of outputs instead of the stereo outputs. So made it as flexible as I could. There's more kits. Here's another dead low pitch. Here's the 6th kit of acoustic. It's another no snare. And then 7 is a snappy kit, which is. And there's 1,200 grooves in this. So if you want, you could actually go to MIDI box here. You could go to the drum MIDI files and exit out to the MIDI files folder. And any of these drum kits for these different kits will work. If I go to the drum kit here and I say I want to use, see, do I have a stack? Here we go. This is a high. Oh, these won't work. These are probably hi-hat patterns. So I won't play those. But the ambient kits, the no snare, snappy, these are all different kits. You can even go to the synth kits if you want. These should work too, because they're all based on MIDI, standard MIDI. So we could say stack. And if it doesn't work, let's see, transpose up. Why doesn't it work? Oh, I'm on blank. Sorry. You guys remember when you have a stack, I keep telling myself, when I first load it up, the very first thing it does is it loads the blank, which is the very first patch. So anything. So these are made for the Camp 4 electric kits, but as you can see, you can substitute these into the acoustic kits if you want, really easily. Camp 8 is the one that's just the cymbals, so you have all these really cool. Right? Camp 3 is, what was Camp 3? I think this, oh wait, this is still the drum kit. So this is when we get into the drum kits full. What are these? What did I do? I have to go back and look at what I did to make these libraries. It's using MIDI box and it's not playing, I'm missing the MIDI files for it. I moved over the patches, but I missed getting all that. So there's additional MIDI files that I made for this part that I don't have access to right now. I could get them to work if I'll have to get these to work. Okay, so if you have something not working, here's what you do. Go over here, get this all to come back. Let's say reveal in the Finder. I need to get the MIDI files folder because I released one version of the library and then I did a big update with like hundreds of additional patches, and I moved over the patches, but I didn't move over the MIDI files. So I can go over here to Unify Development, Groove Summit, and here was where I put the final version in here. Yep, and sorry, I'll be right there in 10 seconds. Oh, I gotta do it. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want to find it because I have it here somewhere. 1 second. Give me a second for technical issues here. MIDI files at 600 kilobytes. Yeah, so this is the bigger MIDI file folder. So this, oh no, it's the same one. Same one. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Here we go. Waves back up to Unify 1D. March 29th. There we go. MIDI files. Okay, and it has 264 more bytes of data. So I copied over the missing MIDI files. So now when I go to this, because I don't like playing things and having them not work for you guys. So now, uh-oh. What do I have to do to get this to work? What's going on? This is the hi-hats, so it should be playing hi-hats. Well, anyway, there's a Camp 9 that's supposed to be... Oh, you know, there might be something missing in patches. Okay, well, I fixed the other part, so let's fix the final part, because I thought I fixed the patches. It must be something in the samples. I must have added new samples to it. I'm not going to try to get to work right now, because I don't want to take up the time. But there's all sorts of other fills and pops and all sorts of stuff in here. Lo-fi grooves. So using the acoustic kits in other alternative ways for these additional kits. So there's like 15 different camps. Here's a hip hop groove. So using the acoustic kits in really cool ways. Then you have all the single grooves that are all still Camp 3. Camp 4 is synth drums. So this is where you get into, right? All these really cool variations on different types of grooves for different genres. And what's fun, check this out. If I copy this by holding down Control and Shift, I could copy the MIDI box. I could go up here to any of the Camp 3 drum kits, like let's say this groove here. Let's see if this works. If I paste this MIDI file, it's playing that because I did everything. I was a good boy on this part. Everything's following the same note assignments on the keyboard for where the notes are, so that all these different kits, you can go to Street Pop. Oh, I like this groove. So I could Control Shift, copy from MIDI box. I could go to Camp 3 to the lo-fi. The little low town, just super low. But if I hold down Shift and click on MIDI box, I'm pasting that groove into this kit. So now I could go to any other library. I could load something up that I wanted to jam with and have this be. I've taken the drum sounds from one thing and taken a MIDI file from something totally different and put it into it. So that's the fun with doing it as a modular kit like this. Camp 5 is percussion, and I sampled all sorts of percussion. Big shakers, real shakers, kibassas, egg shakers. There's hundreds and hundreds of grooves in here, because the fun thing is, again, you put this to single layer, click, 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 and I've got myself 6 percussion layers. I could play the stereo imaging of everything. And if I wanted to, I could go all the way up here to one of these big kits, say set this to the Unify layer, so it'll load all the elements that go into here. And let's say Techno Terror. Let's load that. So it's really modular how you can play with this to get really cool groove ideas going. And then Camp 5, like I said, is all the percussion. And then the end of, and in fact, check this out. Check the artwork. I love this. So Camp 5, close to the top of the mountain, I used AI and described a hiking camp scene that has world percussion instruments scattered around in the snow. And this is a photo you would never see. Nobody's ever taken percussion. You don't carry big djembes and stuff up to the top of Mount Everest. It's too treacherous, right? So cases like this, I think it's fun to use AI to do things that you know, that never happened in real life. And then finally we get to the summit, The Summit is where I've got a whole bunch of patches where I have done just that. I've combined things from all 5 camps to make really cool grooves, and there's a ton. The Groove Summit 1, these are more acoustic oriented. Groove Summit Set 2 is more electronic oriented. And there's all sorts of crazy stuff. You've got Snoopy's Dance. I just heard this on the TV a couple days ago. It's like, oh, cool. Technorama. You know, so you got that. Can't Say No. Oh, this is set 3. So set 3 is just percussion oriented. So there's 3 different sets of summits. Right? It's endless. It really is. And then you get to the drum kits. This is where all of these sounds are now mapped, not with MIDI files and stuff, but so you can play them and then sequence your own Black Bass Hit Kit. This might be one of those things that I added at the last minute that's not included now. Yeah, so I don't have all the samples in. I moved the patches, but I forgot to move all the samples. So there's if you want a really cool synth to play with for really alternate kind of drum sounds, is it Random? Yeah. Random Metal is really fun. Here, let me solo this so we don't have it playing everywhere, and let me give it the whole keyboard range. So just click here and say bottom go down, top go up, solo. So those samples you were hearing came from Random. This is just one of the maps. And since the synthesis bass, click the advanced button. They even have this place where you can choose what material it's based on. Because each patch, let's see, have this go away so I can see the patches. And here's the different types of matter. So you can choose, they have it like a lookup table. Confirm that. And so this is a place using really cool sample mapping. I don't know how much of it was AI per se, but really cool sounds. So I use that to map and make some of the samples you're hearing here. So the future kits. So if you need drums, this is like maybe one of the cooler places that's not just like aiming at one flavor. It's giving you a whole bunch of different flavors. It's really fun to just go up here. What I do a lot of times, I'll just choose one patch to start with, and then say Unify layer so that it can load if in case there are more layers for some of the drum kits and stuff. And then we can say congas, and let's add in a go-go, and let's add a pill bottle shaker. I sampled all sorts of weird things for this. A double shaker, and then I'm going to go up here to the drum kits, and I want to do a modern groove. Then I need to hold down Option to turn it down because all of them are playing way too loud. So I have this flavor. Then go to the top and let's like load some lemon pie. And let's use some pimp sneakers. And let's go over here to Camp 2 to like something like bowling pins. So in no time at all, you can take these grooves and mix and match them. Maybe I want to go to the go-go's. You could open this up, say, oh, I want these to be, let's see if there's controls here. Did I set up controls on the top? Let's see here. You're the high pitch, so you could say, take this down in pitch. Make it kind of broken. Okay, put that into the mix. Now it's no longer like, oh, I hear those go-go's. That sounds like something, you know. So it's very easy to mess up all of the samples and patches to turn it into something unique for your productions. And it's lots of fun to play with. So, yeah. So there you go. As far as grooves go, yes, there's a couple other libraries here that are really fun that I have done. If you want some more things to think about. Do I have Big Bad Beats in here? I didn't put them in here. I do have Rad Bad Beats. There's 3 other groove libraries for Unify I have done. There's Big Bad Beats, which came out originally in the year 2000. And then Noisebox came out in about the year 2002. And then Rad Bad Beats I did last year. And Rad Bad Beats is fun because it's, again, I'm using Recycle. I went back to using Recycle for way too many hours to chop up a whole bunch of drum loops. Let's see, if we go up here to the RX2 stuff, like these. All these RX grooves, I took drum loops and stuff and fed them through all sorts of really cool processing to make things that are not like grooves. They're really things to be combined with other elements. There's also in this library here some incredible subs. So let's go to like here and say add a sub. And there's really cool BPM chords that I chopped up. I'm actually gonna do a library next year like this where there's more chords. Now, if we wanted to play with this, check this out. If you want, you can put, let's see here. Let's expand this so we can see what's going on. It's got a MIDI box. I'm going to put a trigger box after this. Actually, jitter box is the one I want. I don't want any jitter of timing, and I want this to go before MIDI box because I'm going to have it do something kind of weird. I'm going to have it trigger the note chorus and change that, but this is going to be random based on this. See, I probably have to play this to get this to work right the way I want. So you could use this to make all sorts of really cool modular kind of things that are broken and randomized, or you could, you know, so you can do fun stuff like that. Which if you do for too long, your wife's going to be mad at you, so don't do that. But it's really easy to get into all sorts of really cool territory with this library, the tandoori twerk. You know, so it's another fun place. Groove has been in my DNA for a very long time, and so I love doing things that combine grooves in different ways that you're supposed to and sometimes that you're not supposed to do weird things. So that and Groove Summit is really, really fun stuff. So there's a lot of different drum groove libraries for Unify to play with. Let's move on to the next library that came out in the history, and that is this library right here. Let me find this. This was epic. This is an epic library from our friend Fred Nongot is how he goes by. He's from France. This is a library for Diva and Unify, so you need to own Diva for the library to work. And there's a talent. We actually have to work on this library to get it to work with the new versions of Diva because they don't release a Unify VST 2 anymore. So you have to use like an earlier version of Diva that still had a VST 2 version. It's really unfortunate that they did that, but it is the way it is right now. So we're actually, I'm talking to Fred about fixing that up so that it works. But this has some of the more creative stuff we've done in a single library, in that Fred made samples to go along with patches to create scenes that are just out of your craziest imaginations of, like, down here soundscapes, and then starting on C2 up are samples of Irwin talking.
I traded one person for another. These are the moments you don't cherish until they're gone, stolen by the promise of a future you didn't choose.
And then above that, there might be some sort of other dystopian types of sounds.
Heart and love, they're all gone now. Please love while you still can, before it's too late.
Just crazy. And there's what? There's like 34 different scenes. So each one of them has a different theme. This is kind of like the...
Warning, reactor overload detected. Alert, unidentified life form activity escalating.
I mean, one of my favorite movies is Alien. So this is like perfectly out of that.
Facility destruction in T-minus 1 minute. To all personnel. Hostile life form detected. Hostile life form.
Take off on a groove, you know. I mean, so many things are really fun in different directions.
The traitor could be your neighbor. Silence is loyalty. The unseen enemy is everywhere.
And then I did a version where I think I added some stuff up top. Why does it have a guitar?
The traitor could be your neighbor.
I don't know. I'm not sure what that's doing there. So, lurkers. Just really creative scenes. And then down here are all the patches that were used. They all have really cool... Right? I mean... Oh, okay. Yes. Good. Yes, Fred's working on stuff for Unify too as we speak, so... yeah, so fun. Baseline, bass, the effects are just really very cool. These great pads. I have a BeatStep Pro I'm experimenting with, having it set up to control things. I mean, serious stuff going on. It's really fun. Definitely it's definitely a unique library. We haven't had many where we have such a really cool concept taken so far. I mean, it takes so much work. Some of these you want to set the timing of the clock to be manual start stop so that it doesn't reset notes. See, it's different sight. Yeah, it's very cinematic for sure. So, good job, Fred. So if you want something that's like a dictionary to study of what you can do with really creative stuff. I mean, he did like a film score to like 35 different films in one library. So got alien talk, voices. At the end of the list, I think we even included all of the textures and all the different atmosphere sounds from the Unify brothers. And all the talking of all the different phrases.
Please note that my programming prioritizes mission success and crew safety. If the threat persists, I would deploy non-lethal measures to ensure the mission's integrity. Perhaps you are misinterpreting the data. A minor discrepancy. I will review the logs. Please hold.
Holy Mother.
Your body will scream. Your body will scream. Are you merely flesh and instinct?
You know, last tempo.
Toka hevangia tipi birnda sol ashviter. Tele. Minates return namunas terrorist.
All the processing on the samples. Oh, what was the whole last temple scene like? So if you go up here to here, the last temple, where is that? I just last temple. Okay, here we go. So last temple.
Carta Brister and Brothio.
Yeah.
Avate trunema opulina rista baktin dragoda.
So you have a whole scene for dystopian monks amongst the wreckage.
Nergar tarotinas der Miriam.
It's so creative. Just amazingly creative stuff. So, good job, Fred. Next up was another really fun library that Tim Dale brought out. This was Expressions for Omnosphere 2. We do every now and then still libraries for Omnosphere 2. I personally am not gonna do that, but other people can, and I'll bring them up and put them available for everybody to play with. This is the library, 250 patches. You have to own Omnosphere 2. It works obviously in Omnosphere 3 because I have Omnosphere 3 up in here. So it plays just fine. Sounds great. Check. And it does use aftertouch. So a lot of these patches have a lot of expressivity and stuff going on inside of them. Let's see if we go to like some of the leads. Oh, oops. There's always one. Oh, there's another patch. I'll have to check with Tim, see what's up with that. So, if you own Omnosphere and you want some patches, this was a really fun library to bring out. I don't think the full install, I must be missing something in the install. I can check it. I'm not going to check it right now because we're hanging out, so this isn't the time to check it. iStreams Peach Shaker. So the way that it works, let's do this. Let me make sure I did it right. Well, let me finish showing this library really quick because it's got so much stuff in it. Here's Flutes of Peace. Good job, Fred. Good job, Tim. You guys did great libraries this year. Really cool stuff. So all these different ideas is Plux. All right, well, let's see what I did to make it not work, because I did something. So I'm going to go to iStreams, reveal in the Finder. You're talking about the Peach Shaker or the whole library? It sounds like it's a whole library. So let's go to Libraries. I'm going to pull this version of iStreams out and put it on my desktop. So it's there. And delete. And let's erase the trash, rebuild the database so that it's not there. And let me download what I got you guys. So that's over here. So we'll copy that over here. Double click. Go over here. If I go to, oh, still rebuild no database. Let's do this, have it rebuild the database. Finish, and then we'll get this to go. So have this over like this. All right, so I have .guru here, drag it over, say yes. So it drags it over, all done. And unfortunately, I have all these libraries in here, so it's gonna take a second. Let me dissect this. If the .guru is not working, you can always go over here and rename it a zip file and use zip and open. Go over here. You're right. It's not showing up. What did I do wrong? Oh, you know what it is? My bad. So you have to name this folder library. Libraries. Oh my gosh. Skippy. Compress. We'll get it to work. It's just missing one small detail of where to put the samples. Like if I go over here and say reveal in the Finder. Thank you for doing that. Go up here to Unify. It's probably going to be right here. See where it says iStreams free? It's in your Unify folder. It didn't put it in the right place because I didn't make a library folder named Libraries. So it's my bad. If you put it into Libraries, then rebuild the database, that will get it to show up. I'll fix it so that we can just go like this. Copy this name, delete, paste, .guru. Yes, use .guru for the name. Let me recompress that and get that back online. Sorry, guys. I did it last night very late and missed a small detail there, didn't I? One of those things I should have probably checked before getting out to you guys. So go over here. Let's see. I'm going to delete this version of iStreams and put it over here. You can also just, let's see here. Peach Shaker freebie, copy link. By putting it into the libraries folder, I should have been able to rebuild the library. And now iStream shows up. And these aren't playing. Oops. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on one second. Hold on. Skippy's messed up again. Let's do this. Let's delete this version of iStream so that we can make sure that we're doing this. Nothing like doing this in a live stream with 100-something people watching. But what the heck? It's the last live stream of the year, so we can do anything we want. So I'm going to go over here to find, I called it, oh, that's what I did. Oh, silly me. Okay, one second here. Libraries. I don't download that one. That was wrong. So we got to go over here and say zip, use zip. So inside of libraries, it's wrong. So we're going to go plug in Guru iStreams. Put all of these into here. And now put this into here. And then it has to be done in a very specific order or it won't work. I'm so sorry I messed up. That's not very professional. So we'll fix it real quick. So it's compressing it. We compressed the libraries folder, so that means it will put this into the libraries folder. Copy, delete, paste. Guru. Use Guru. There we go. So now we've fixed it so that it will work. So we can go over here. We can say, copy this name and delete. Compress. Get rid of this. And put this over here. And here is the link. And once it uploads, I'll give you the link and then it will work. My goodness. And we'll double check it too, so that we've deleted everything here. Rebuilt the database. Here's the link for the working version. And just to be safe, let me build it here really quick and make sure it works before I give you a link, because I don't want to give you something broken again. So let's go to the iStreams freebie right here. After it's done rereading the large bunch of patches libraries that I have. This is why I don't have all the libraries inside of Unify all the time, because it takes a long time. Once you have a lot of libraries, it takes a while to rebuild the database. So there's no iStreams here, right? I've gotten rid of it. It's not here. Let me look in the library folder really quick just to confirm. So we go to libraries. There's no iStreams. There's nothing weird, nothing out of place. So if I take the iStreams piece shaker and drag over and say yes, okay. So now I can go up here. iStreams is here. Textures work. Yay. Okay. Thank you for checking in the live stream in real time. So here, fixed piece shaker iStreams library. There. Sorry. I apologize. Thank you for letting me know about that so we could fix that on the spot. So now hopefully even the BPM percussion. Yay. It works. Technology does work when you wield it properly. And again, you have a groove to each one of these. So you have all that to work with. And it's, again, it will say iStreams for the library. Wow, I forgot to check that last night. And it's not, excuse me, my voice is going hecky. And if we go revealing this in the Finder, let's get the full library back. So if we go over here and we go to the libraries and I drag this over and it's the same name and I say, yes, replace. So it copies that over. I like fast computers, rebuild the database just for this library. And now we have everything back, including the P shaker. Yeah, so, all right, now it's working right. If you own the full version and download, that version works. I didn't organize the free Piece Shaker library properly. And so I will have to send out a note to everybody. I'm sorry about that. That was a boo-boo on my part. But we fixed it, so it's working. So there you go. Continuing our library, we were talking about expressions for Omnosphere 2. Tim put an awful lot of work into this. If you have Omnosphere 2 and read up, watch the video walkthrough. There's some really nice, all sorts of categories. If doesn't show up in Unify, hold down Option or Alt and hit the little lightning bolt. It might need to rescan all of your libraries, but if you've dragged over the latest version, it will work. You just have to have it reread and maybe update its database, and then it should work. Oh, P-Secret works. Okay. Hopefully it works for everybody. Again, I am really sorry for that error. Let me have some tea. Wet the whistle. All right. So after Expressions came out, I like that early hours piano. Bright Idea. Good stuff. Good stuff. Next library was Cloudforms, and this was a fun library for a couple reasons. I've always wanted to record. Somebody sent a message to me during the years saying you got to record Koshi chimes. And here, let me go get those. They're the craziest things. Check this out. Here they are. This is a Koshi chime, and you can find them on eBay. I hang them in my kitchen on the doors to open glasses and plates, so I get little happy chordal things when I'm cooking. Isn't that funny? But it has these multiple tines inside of it, little metal tines you can strike. And then it has this string with a really nice little round, I think it's plastic. It looks almost like a button that can hit them just enough to make them sing. It's a beautiful sound. It's really hard to sample. Let me tell you, this was a challenge. So I first did some where I have them playing all sorts of different phrases just from hours of recording. There's air, there's aqua, there's earth, and fire. This one right here is the red one, so it's got the O in the Koshi is red. That means it's fire, so it's red. So you have all these different phrases, which are really cool to play with if you're doing meditative things, to have these play every now and then. I also recorded them as an actual sample. I took one of the four apart and recorded each of the tines. So you have the notes for all of the different. So now you can make your own Koshi chimes just by playing these 8 notes on the keyboard. And then I also did it as just a single bell across the whole keyboard so that you it's a different vibe altogether when you can play it with all sorts of notes, not just the limited notes that are in a Koshi chime. Very different. So I wanted to put that into a library. A really crazy situation happened where a friend that my mom graduated high school with had to move. She lived in Fruitland. She lived in a double wide apartment and had a 6'7" Yamaha concert grand piano in her living room overlooking the Payette River. It was very surreal, but a lovely, lovely woman named Margaret. And she had bought this piano 40 years ago in 1985. And turns out that she had to move to another place that didn't have room for the piano. And she'd held onto that piano for her granddaughter, who learned on that piano. And her grandmother, Margaret's mom, was a jazz pianist and played the piano. And her name was Eldora. And she was moving to a place, and her daughter didn't have room. She's married in Texas with like 3 kids, no room at the house. And she contacted my mom literally in tears because she's been holding on to this for her granddaughter, and her granddaughter can't take it. And they're trying to think about if she can like make a storage shed in Texas in the back to put the piano temporarily to hold it for a couple of years or something. But Texas, the heat and humidity would ruin the piano, right? It just horrible situation. And mom called me, and she's like, because there's a guy here in the area that tunes pianos. He actually sells piano on Facebook Marketplace out of his house. He has a really big garage in the back of his house. He has a $60,000 Steinway 7-foot concert piano there. And I went there and helped pick out a piano for my sister. And he's like, "You want to play my baby?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Check this out." He totally replaced the hammers, replaced the strings, done all this work. And I played that Steinway, and it screwed me up. I mean, I have sold Bosendorfer grand pianos when I worked at a music store in Seattle, but I was in my 20s and just brain dead. I didn't think about what I had keys to this music store, and every night when the store closed at 9, I would set up the MIDI room. We had Kurzweil, Akai, Kawai, Casio, Korg, Yamaha, Roland, all these companies. We actually, in the 3 years I was there, at the end of 3 years, we were selling more in synthesizers than we were grand pianos. And they sold Yamaha and Bosendorfer grand pianos. I used to sit out at a Bosendorfer 7'4" piano and write music, and then I'd go into the studio and realize those unto songs. I still have my cassette tapes of all the songs I wrote back then. But I just thought of it as a piano back then and stuff like that, right? But when I sat down and played this Steinway, it triggered something inside of me that was like, I had not felt that in love with something. And it was I really needed to have an acoustic piano back in my life. I've never owned, until this year, I've never owned an acoustic piano. My mom's got a grand piano that I play. She also has the U1 upright. The MegaMagic keys library is from a couple years ago at Christmas. I went and stayed with them, and I recorded the Yamaha grand and the Yamaha U1 upright grand piano with a felt piano and all that kind of stuff. But it put and I just said to the universe, I would really like to have an acoustic piano. And like, 6 weeks, 2 months later, my mom calls and says, "Hey, do you think that gentleman could help Margaret sell her piano?" And I went, "Mom, maybe I should buy this piano. Maybe this piano's for me." And so we contacted Margaret. She was really excited with the possibility. I went and played the piano, and it hit my heart. It was, I cry when I play it. It's beautiful. We named the piano Eldora after Margaret's mom, and I'll sample that next year. It's one of the instruments I want to do a library on. But this is the first library, Cloudform, that used that library, that piano. But the irony is that I didn't play it as a piano and sample it. I played it as a drum kit. And so the Star Piano kit is all these samples that I recorded from playing the grand piano with mallets, with my fists, hitting on the metal of it to get all these. So this piano kit there's also one other thing that I sampled for it, and it's in the basses up here. It's called Piano Striker, which is where I'm using a drumstick and playing notes on the piano. I have a full across the whole keyboard version I'm working on that I've sampled. That will go into the piano library. It's just unbelievable. So that will be coming out next year. Might be in the same library at the grand piano, but it's the coolest sound. Just rings out so nicely. So those things came out. So then there's all these different grooves that I did. These cinematic ones that are super cool where it's now the kick drums, I have some kicks in the drum kit for this library that came from the piano, but those for the most part don't have the you know, it's that knocky thing. So I made some additional kicks, and if you need like the coolest kicks when you're playing with Unify 2 inside of the super mega sampler library, go to the Star drum kit or the drum BPM drum Star piano kit. That low end of the kick and stuff is just like my favorite kicks that I've made to date. It's just came out really, really, really cool. Also on top of that, inside of Cloudform, there's all these really, really cool synth sounds and stuff that I created. Suspended emotions. Some really cool Mogi. So all of those sounds and some chord things that were really cool too, where I think I was using Cloudform for this library. Forum. What's the name of it? Novum from Dawson, I think was what I used for a lot of these. Right? So all of these came together to make really cool, crazy kind of things where right? There's really cool pads that came out really cool. Just like the sound of it's just nuts. Boldly Goes Splits. So it's a library of a whole bunch of different pieces that I wanted to try to, it's really fun. My job of like, it's like I'm in a kitchen. It's like, well, what if I put Koshi chimes with me striking my grand piano as a drum kit with granular synth sounds that I make, with really big analog synth sounds that I stick and process in there so that I get all sorts of cool. So that's what I get to do, and it's a dream come true that I get to do what I get to do. It's just crazy. So here's Koshi chimes, the drums. All together. So the places you can go to this library are pretty cool. Takes up all the space for some of these. Put the nice swallow. Right? So, Cloudform is another fun library. After this came a library that shocked the daylights out of me, and a lot of you, and that was from Bob Dedis. His big library for the year was Shogun. And this is just an epic, completely different library. This is what's fun with Unify, is you can go from one library to another one, and it's a completely different planet, different approach, different sounds, all this stuff. Let me see if I can find some of these things. At the very bottom, he has these scenes that put it all together. Where would he put those? The signatures. Here's the signatures, the numbered ones. So this is for, like, he really enjoys Japanese cinematic film soundtracks and Japanese music. And so he made a library of epic that these really cool signature sounds, like these horns. Let's see, where are the scenes? He's got somewhere in here, BPM perk, bass. Where are they? 'Cause I know he made scenes, and I thought they were there, but they're not. They're not the strings, the winds. Here we go. These XX patches. So you play D2. And in Unify 1, we didn't have the ability to see that we were overdriving. So we're overdriving here a little bit, so we can turn the sound just a little bit. I mean, a totally different planet of really cool sounds. There's an incredible koto here with the scaling, so you can put really cool processing, make them into ambient things if you want. Different scales. There's a shamisen. String ensembles. And then you get up here to the percussion and stuff. The percussion, the taikos. Lots of samples. You just play one note and you get all sorts of cool hits. Cool hits of like Higoshis. Kokorikos. I have a couple of these. Suzu. So you have the bells, plastic drums. Then you get to the BPM perk and stuff up here where they're put together. So you just call something like this up and play a note. Go here to the Unified Layers. Let's add some taikos, war battles. I mean, just incredible. Crazy, huh? So it's just an epic library. I had no idea when he first wrote, and he goes, I'm doing Japanese soundtrack, cinematography, cinema, Japanese cinema. And I'm like, what? And then it showed up, and I was like, okay. You really dove in hard, man. That's awesome. So these different percussion things of battles and duels and stuff. Here's a triplet field duel. So, just so many cool things. Phrases. Riffs with Kodos. Again, go just the layers, add this, go to the signature drones and flutes. You just see the warriors facing each other with their samurai swords out. Are you sure we should do this? Yes, we must. Honor is important. So you even have howls. So make sure you try the different XX patches. Then there's additional things. You know, the haunted water temple and just really, really cool places to go with all these things. Calling the spirits, cool leads. Right? It's just like, what? A Samurai's Pride. Right? So, amazing library. Huge amount of work went into that. In fact, I don't know what it is yet, but Bob has something for January for us. So, fasten your seatbelts. I have no idea what he's like, hey, can we reserve January for me? I've got something I'm working on that'll be ready for January. So get ready. Something new is coming from him. So it'll be really fun to see what comes up. So then this last part of the year was interesting. I did do, I thought it would be fairly fast and then it ended up taking a long time just because I wanted to get into the details with the patches and stuff. I converted over the MegaMagic Bells and Winds library. This is like truly one of the last libraries I needed to convert from Omnosphere 2 to Unify. Omnosphere 2, for those of you that I'm sure everybody here knows, but I'll just repeat it since it's on video for the records, is just able to work with one sample at a time. And I came up with a system of using reverb and processing on samples to make them extend longer, so they would play up and down the keyboard and be more useful than just most samples when they're dry. They don't last very long. They fall apart up high because there's just nothing sustaining it. And so I did things where I added MegaMagic reverb. So even short samples at this original pitch up 2 octaves, because the reverb is so long, and then it just did really cool things to the samples down below. Right? So this is the last of the libraries from Omnosphere days. I've converted over MegaMagic guitars, volumes 1 and 2 that were from, and in those I would have to do things where I would use multiple patches in Omnosphere for each of the samples, map it across the keyboard, treat it kind of like a multi-sampler at that point, but then if you want to change the attack of something, you have to edit the envelopes of 6 patches. And it was just not very fun. And so I'm glad those days are over. Don't have to deal with things in that regards. I can have every sample on the keyboard be a different piece shaker sample if I want, doing all sorts of things. So it's nice. But this is a cool library. It came out really cool. The bell bar. All that from one sample. Just so we can compare real quick. Ice Dreams has the same bell bar resampled, but multiple samples and round robins. Here's a hard sample. So my sampling techniques have gotten far better, I think. Also, Bells and Winds is an interesting library. The story goes something like this. We were recording MegaMagic guitars with my friend Eric Hailstone in Portland at this little studio in North Portland. And we'd recorded the guitars and phrases. We'd spent 2 days on guitars to get the guitars that ended up going into the library. And there was like a little bit of time left in the day. We were done. I was happy with everything we'd gotten. I'm like, hey, can you pop on the recorder? I've got a tote that I brought with me of all these different bells and winds and my pan flute and all sorts of things. And so he just hit record, and for 35 minutes, I just picked up every instrument I had in that tote that I wanted to play and played it in front of the same microphone quickly. So all of these sounds that are not synthetic wise, but you know, all the different, when you get down here to the thumb kalimbas and so forth, these are all sounds. Oh, it loops. Let's see. That's a sample from that session. And then I'd add reverb after the fact to make the MegaMagic versions. Pan flutes. So if we go down to the winds, these different flute samples that were like, it's just one sample. I looped it with MegaMagic reverb now, and that makes it a whole different. And then the MegaMagic with reverb just as the played, and then it rings out with the reverb. So it's a really cool library. It was worth the effort to bring it to Unify. This also has all Steve Taglioni's samples, which, by the way, those of you that don't know, Steve Taglioni is a cinema composer, sound designer, specializing especially in wind instruments. And he has just an incredible collection of sounds that he's made, and he's given them to me to make libraries. So next year we'll put together a Taglioni library for Unify 2 using all these samples that he's gotten me that are just unbelievable. So I'm really excited about that. But he got me these samples from films that he's worked on that are included in the library, and they're included in the Unify version. So there's ocarinas, and then the process. All sorts of cool things. Then there's a ton of Z patches where I'm combining. To do all sorts of crazy, funny things. And at this point, we were working on Unify 2, and I knew we were going to be having cool artwork. So I worked with Taylor. Taylor helped me. We made all sorts of really cool images to go with the libraries. Right? I'm out of time. I'm not done yet, so but there's cool chords, keyboards, all sorts of fun things that we made, pads that are just awesome. Cosmic Calliope. All sorts of fun stuff in this library. So MegaMagic Bells and Winds. I did another library after that with guitars. We were getting closer with Unify 2, but we weren't ready to get that to go out yet. So MegaMagic Guitars Volume 5. It's called Double Trouble. Actually, this is the, Double Trouble because it's double strings. So it has like one of the nicest, I think. I've played a lot of them. I've had a lot of people also tell me that these 12-string guitars are some of their favorites. So there's DI as well as microphone recordings. So here's the DI. That's the input that you plug on the back of the guitar. It kind of has that like a no resonance kind of. And then the microphones. The magic's when you combine the two, it gets lovely. Then the So there's that, and then I bought an electric 12-string because I thought, well, they're cool too, and recorded a really cool. I took these photos in my. We have a park over here in this place that I bought my house, and set up the guitars to do all sorts of photo shoots with them. And I also recorded a mandolin. That's finger, and then here's pick for the brighter. Came out great. And then the Z patches, just they come to life because you start combining all of these different elements, and oh my gosh, they just came out so lovely. I love these kind of things to play where you've got so many. Got mandolin, you got the all sorts of fun things in here. Time Bandits. Some rhythmic stuff happening. It's fun in here. Really, really cool guitars of all sorts. So, all sorts of acoustic guitar, hybrid guitar, electric meets electric. Like, it doesn't sound like an instrument by itself, but it's you're in that space, but it's new, which is what I really wanted to do. So you've got the lo-fi. Right? And then after this, Unify 2 came out. So I took months of work to get the voicing and everything done and organized for Unify 2. That came out. Lots of happy people with Unify 2. All you guys here that are still sticking around, you guys are our hardcore in it to win it family. I appreciate all of you so much. So that Unify 2 and all of the voicing for that, I'm not going to go into that because that could take days because there's a lot of patches there. And then the final library of the year I was able to do in the last month was this, Ice Dreams. So this has 25 different bells. Some of these are some of the prettiest bells I've ever recorded for the. Just the clarity is just so awesome. And I have all these bells here. It's like, this is the bell I sampled. It took so much work to tune these suckers because you play in different places and you get different overtones that are in tune and out of tune. But when I get them, you get them, and they're really nice. And there's 25 bells down here in the Z patches. I love this one because 15 of them together will give you this. I wish I had I worked on Mariah Carey's Christmas album, and I did bells and strings for a couple of the songs, and I wish I would have had this library then. I definitely would have used it. There's all sorts of other really cool bell. There's icy glare pads. All sorts of really cool sounds in here. The pads came out especially beautiful. I love, like, some are more holiday. That kind of stuff. And then there's other ones that are more just want to have, like, everything need to have a little bit of an edge of cold or snow. So fun stuff. Then we just added the piece shaker, this lovely dude right here. So you can add that to the library. Apologies again for messing up the free version, but I fixed it. No royalties. No. It was not, I don't even remember I had a union deal on that. I had a couple of them. I did a Whitney Houston album for the soundtrack to a film, and I still get residuals from that, but no, it wasn't. Some of the work we did wasn't through the union, so we were just session players playing parts, and so just a buyout paid us, X amount of money for the day, play a whole bunch of stuff, go home, and they're still making good bank on it themselves. So, but that's a lot of the sessions I did were not union sessions, but that's all right. It's still a chance to work on the albums. By the way, if you see the F1 movie, I was able to work with Hans this year also, on top of everything else that was going on. I worked with him on making some sounds for the film, so that was really fun. He gave me credit in the film, which is really fun. There's a few other things that I was able to work on for Korg, some other things for other companies I can't mention yet that we'll be talking about next year when they come out. Yeah, so if you have questions, email us at unifysupport@pluginguru.com so we can help understand what it is you're trying to do, what's not working and stuff like that. That's something I can't do here. But anyway, thank you for staying. Oh, I sent you an email. Okay, so Taylor's on it. Taylor, you rock. Thank you, my friend. Taylor has been here through the whole year as a really rock solid helper to me. I really appreciate him. Did a lot of the artwork. A lot of times I would send him a long take of samples and he would chop up the samples and get me the samples back. So I appreciate the work that he has done to keep everything going. Appreciate it. You see. Oh, yes. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, it was fun. It's fun to work on the film. But anyway, so it's been a really good year. We have all sorts of big hopes for next year. And I'll be at the NAMM show for the Friday of that NAMM show. On Saturday and Sunday, there's the Buchla and Friends event in downtown Los Angeles. I'll be showing Unify 2 at the Buchla and Friends event. It's, I believe, free to come see, unlike the NAMM show, which is extremely expensive to get into. But I'll be at the NAMM show on Friday. There's a few dinners I want to go to with friends and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, thank you, Taylor. All right. Shout outs to all you guys. Where are you at in the world? I want to hear shout outs. Shout out from Eagle, Idaho here. I appreciate all of you. We're here for you guys. We love to do what we do. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to dream up ideas for crazy libraries and try to realize them. And I know Tim is appreciative. Fred, even Bob Dettas, I know, of course, is very appreciative, and as well as the other people that have made libraries in the past. Matthias Sauer has created 3 lovely libraries for Unify that are great. So yeah, thank you to you all. We appreciate, look at this. We got Japan, Vermont, where it's cold and snowy, I bet. Australia. I think it's kind of warm in Australia right now. It's summertime, right? Amsterdam, Arizona, UK, Netherlands. Good to see you, Rob, in the Netherlands. Hello, hello. Music, make music, not war. Amen, brother. 100%. That's what the peace shaker is all about. We're supposed to like shake this in front of people and they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't need to bomb boats. I'll just play my peace shaker and be happy. Cool. Good to see you all. Well, thank you for joining us. I'll see you next year. It's always fun to say that this time of year. And I appreciate your support as always. Don't forget, there's the big sale going on at the site until January 4th, I believe. You can get up to 55% off if you have 3 libraries in your cart. So add libraries, add the savings up. And yeah, thank you all. We have all sorts of really cool things for us. So stick around. We're still warming up. We've been at this since a while, but we're still warming up. So yeah. All right. We'll see you soon. Thanks again.